the Audi TTRS. Today, we're going to talk about this car and review it. Welcome back to another episode of Car Savant. And as you can see behind us, as I mentioned earlier, that is the Audi TTRS. This particular model is a 2012 and one of the most favorite cars that I think I've ever owned. Just the way this is set up is just amazing. So this is a 2012. These had 360 horsepower stock, 2.5 liter, 5-cylinder. Now these back in the day were rated at 4.8 seconds, 0 to 60, plus or minus, a tenth or so. I'll tell you what, this is much quicker than that is now, the way it's set up.
Sure.
I'll talk about the way this is set up and why I think it's the ultimate spec Generation 2 TTRS a little bit later on in the video. Stefan just had the chance to give this a test drive. What were your overall impressions so far?
It's a good, nice, low car, good feeling, feels solid and planted, good feedback. The clutch is, I think it's got a 6-puck in there.
Yep.
It's a little bit rough on first gear engagement, but otherwise it's a very smooth car. Transmission smooth. The engine power delivery is great, nice and torquey, and it just pulls hard. So it's a great, nimble car. It feels good. I like the way it drives.
I'd have to agree with you on that. So to start, here's the front end of the TTRS. I absolutely love this black optics grille, RS style, all black, with the black trim. You can see that gigantic Wagner intercooler in stealth black right behind it to really help out with the performance. And also it has a front splitter on it as well. I really love the look of the headlights.
Yeah, and the color of the car with the black trim is it's great. I mean, that blue, like right now, the way the sky's hitting it, it just looks like the sky. It's a really good blue.
Sepang Blue Metallic is the official name. There was 70 of these produced in 2012 with a 6-speed transmission. Relatively rare color. And if you see this, if you've seen this car before, had some HREs on it in the past, and now it has 19-inch new speed wheels on it. The buyer actually that's buying this car requested some more profile tires, so I offered him these instead, and he did agree. If you look at the side mirror, the OEM carbon fiber side mirrors, look at these bigger J-hook rotors in the front. I think these are 380 millimeters. Stopping power is great. We just swapped these pads recently with some ceramic pads. Virtually no dust now. It does have the stud conversion as well. So I think just a great overall setup. The back also has the stud conversion. It's got the 360 millimeter J-hook rotors. Just an overall great braking setup. Here's the back, the TTRS. Carbon fiber wing, which I think looks really nice on there. It's got the black diffuser. It's got the OEM Sport exhaust on it, which really isn't all that loud. With the downpipes and the mid pipes, it does sound better, but there could be some improvement there. But exhausts on these are almost impossible to find. Look at those taillights.
Yeah, and we have converted all the bulbs to LED. The reverse lights, the stop lights, they're all LED now. So
how do you like the design of those?
the design is pretty unique. Kind of gives you...
It looks weird on camera. It looks like it's flashing. It's not flashing in real life, but
kind of looks like a, I don't know, like a, an optic kind of effect with a little pupil in there. What I really like about this car, though, is not only the carbon wing, but especially this carbon TT gas cap.
what are those stock, just for the viewer's benefit?
It's like a brushed aluminum look, or the same that a lot of Audi mirrors come in, that kind of silver aluminum look.
Which doesn't look bad, I must say, but does not look as good as carbon fiber.
And when with the flow of the car, it just looks better than everything else is black and blue, so it just flows better.
I agree. And I really like the stock, almost kind of like fender flares on this.
Yeah, not too aggressive, but just enough to have a nice good wheel size on there.
And you just look at the side profile of this, very, may I say, Porsche-like, similar. You know, it is the same general manufacturer, but it's got that great German coupe profile to it. It flows really, really nicely. I mean, I love Porsche. I love their designs. I think as do you, Steph.
Yes,
but
definitely.
Does this or does this not remind you of Porsche design?
Yeah, you got the swooping roof, kind of hatch going on there. So that's always a good thing to have in a car. Just the profile of that. It's a sports car profile for sure.
I agree. So here's the inside on this 2012 TTRS. And as you can see, mostly stock. Do have the all-season floor mats on it. I did add these carbon fiber door handle trim pieces. I really love the simplistic look of the TTRS, and TT in general, the inside of these. Very driver focused, as you can see, the manual stick shift transmission, which is a great transmission. Stefan mentioned this one has a 6-putt clutch on it. You really do have to get used to the way it functions and the way it grabs. Once you get used to it, it's pretty good, but if you're not used to it, you can stall this thing very, very easily. I always loved how Audi designed these TTRS seats. I think, yes, they could have been slightly more aggressive, but I love the TTRS in the back portion. I love the Alcantara / leather material on these. As you can see, we did add a armrest, aftermarket armrest cover, basically because these essentially have no armrests on them from the factory. It does technically have a back seat. However, if you're older than 3 or 4, you better not try it. So here's the inside. This does have an aftermarket unit. I can't remember the name of this unit. It's got Bluetooth. It's got various features on it. I think it's a great setup. Modernizes the inside of this a little bit. So here's the back hatch. There's not really a whole lot to show here, other than the fact that I should just say that the back seats fold down very easily, gives you some nice storage, really makes the car, in my opinion, even that much more usable in general.
And one TT, we were able to get a set of wheels in here, so it's pretty useful.
I do remember that. And on the back portion of this, so excuse my, got the mats back here. Back here is where your battery is. This never did come with a spare tire, so kind of looks like a spare tire well there, I guess to an extent, but that's the back part of this car. Tons of storage on it. Very useful car in addition to being a great sports car.
And here's the engine bay. As you can see, this is a 5-cylinder engine. It's got a turbo on it, direct injected 2.5 liter. Comes from the factory with 360 horse, but this doesn't look stock. So what were the things that were done to this?
So as I mentioned earlier, did do quite a few upgrades on this. You can see the 034 Motorsports intake. Forget the name of the company, but this aftermarket carbon duct I thought flowed kind of well with the general look. Believe it or not, these pieces right here are OEM Audi, and they came in carbon fiber.
Interesting.
Which I think is very cool. R8 oil cap, which if anyone is familiar with Audi, VW, Lamborghini, that's probably one of the most interchangeable oil caps that exists. So use this on different VWs, different Audis, different Porsches, different Lamborghinis even. But it looks better than the cheap black plastic one. So
For sure.
It was a pretty logical mod to do. So as was mentioned a couple times now, 360 horse was the rated horsepower of this from the factory. This has, I would guess, in the lower 400s at the wheels. It is tuned. It does have downpipe, mid pipes. It's got a bigger intercooler on it. It does have the intake, which that probably doesn't gain a whole lot. I'm probably forgetting a couple other things here as well. But the way this thing drives, the way it spools, everything about this, I absolutely love the way this thing drives. So it will definitely be missed. However, it will be replaced with something equally or more fun. So stay tuned on that. Now let's see what this thing looks like driving. And I know I said it earlier, it's not really all that loud, but let's hear what it sounds like. Sounds good.
Feels good. Really good feel car. Like I said, feels nice and solid and planted. This doesn't get squirrely on you. Even when you get on it, you don't feel like you're ever going to lose it. It's really sturdy, but it's a lot of power. It pulls really hard from like 2.5 to 4. Just get a lot of boost, and man, it just feels good.
It sounded good when you went by.
Yeah, really unique sound with the 5-cylinder.
So there you basically have it. The Audi TTRS, second generation, and I would say mildly modded with quite a few good improvements that make this car an even better car from stock. Really hate to get rid of this, but the replacement will definitely be fun too. So with that said, thank you all for watching. I hope you appreciated this review of this Audi TTRS. Great car. If you haven't had the privilege of owning one, I really recommend this to anybody. First, second, or third generation TT, especially the TTRS. It's a whole other animal. So check it out someday. See what you think. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. We hope to have some more great reviews to come. Take care. See ya.